What is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the indicator that has completely changed my trading game for basically since I started to now. Only thing that throughout my entire career has maintained the same throughout. And I'm sure you guys have seen so many things, especially like prime TikTok, when these people were dropping these indicators, these algorithms, all these things. It would just have a really bad name. Most indicators, I personally believe, are straight BS. There's a very far and few that I actually, some I don't even use, but I still believe in. But this one, more than anything, if you're in the Discord, you know what I'm talking about. And if you watched some of my videos before, you'll also know is the EMA. Now, okay, I'm gonna tell you what it is now, but don't click off because I need to tell you there's gonna be 3 different ways I use this every single day. All of my strategies involve this. And if you can use this correctly, it is going to change everything for you. It's gonna do all the hard work. It's gonna make trading so much more easier. And more than anything, it's gonna filter all these trades and opportunities you have and make sure that when you are taking the time to place a trade, it is A+. All I ask for in exchange, just subscribe, man. I'm putting so much time into these videos. I'm working so hard. I hope you are too. Hopefully you've been seeing some results, if regardless it's from me or from watching someone else's videos. I hope you're improving. I hope you're getting better. Let's go. Okay, so boom, we're throwing it here on gold. We're going to start on gold because, again, this is what I trade most of the time, and I've found throughout looking at most indexes, NQ does work better on the shorter time frames, but overall gold, every single time frame does really benefit an EMA. Now, some of you guys are asking, maybe you don't know, which if you don't know, you're probably super new to trading, but what is an EMA? Think of it over a period of time. So for example, this little black line you guys see on my chart right here, this is my EMA. I only like to use one. There is another line you see on my screen right here, the 200 EMA. I rarely use this, and we're gonna get into the difference between the 8 and the 200. No shameless plug here, like I don't have any connection to this, but the EMA that I use, and this is like no one else uses it. Every single person that's used this before is from my Discord or someone else. It is E3V. If you type in E3V in your indicators on TradingView, you can click it. It'll give you 3 indicators or 3 EMAs and a VWAP. But anyways, it'll pop on your screen right here, and then you see top left. You can click this little button to the settings. It's going to open it up. Now, of course, it does give you 3 EMAs and a VWAP. I don't use VWAP just because I don't need to. I don't like it. But obviously have the 1 and the 3 checked off. Doesn't matter. But make sure you have 2 of these EMAs checked off, and make sure on your inputs, the ones that I use, I die by the 8 EMA. And again, the 200 is that bigger line that's going through that really rarely gets hit. Now, what does these numbers even mean? So basically, think about the exponential moving average pretty much as the average price of whatever you're trading over X amount of days. So for example, with the 8 EMA, that measures the last 8 days of price, being this line is the average price of gold over the last 8 days. Compared to the 200 EMA, which is the 200 previous days it is measured by. The main reason why, just for example here, this 200 EMA we rarely see contact with, it is stronger, but it's because, of course, we have a 200-day sample size compared to an 8-day sample size. So you got to think, this is taking in accountability of price from, months and months and months ago compared to where the 8 EMA is just the last couple of days. Us as day traders, it's of course going to benefit us if we go on the shorter EMAs because that is going to be more recent, kind of objectified price buying into it, and we're looking for those quicker moves. We're looking for that higher average so we can see more rejections off of it, more kind of true, I guess, magnetization. What am I even talking? I guess just true opportunities off of the EMA. All I want you to imagine this line as, this average price of, I want you to think of this as a magnet. Price is going to always be pulling itself towards this average price. Just for an example here, when you see an overextended move like this, okay, and this is hard to break it down just because we had a news candle come in here. This was our unemployment. It actually came out very bullish for gold. We see price shoot up off this EMA. You see we have a pretty big gap in between this area, and watch what happens. Price pulls back to the EMA. We see buyers continue to pick it up, and that's a beautiful opportunity to enter a trade. And then obviously, yes, it did play out, but this is not normal. But same exact thing here. We see this ginormous pop up, and what do we notice? Yes, we continue to pop up, but look, price retracts right to this EMA. So just from that, telling you that right now, what does that mean? What are you trying to pick up from this? Is there something you're catching? I don't want to be like a kid star or something, be like, what is the answer? But you're seeing price buy up. Obviously, some people are going to get, FOMO. They're going to chase in this area. They're going to buy here. They're going to buy here, whatever. That is putting yourself in a pretty bad position. So when you're using an EMA, you would believe that, hey, this is pretty much the average price. This is an area where we're going to see price magnetize. So if we're going to get into a long trade, for example, like, let's say up here, this is just nitpicking, whatever. We get in here because, we're just ripping, for sure this is going to go up. And then, okay, let's say we have our stop loss at this candle close right here. In a scenario like this, you still would be in this trade, market close, whatever. But look at how far you are away from that EMA. That's not a good area to be in. But if you do have it on your chart, if you do trade with the EMA, if you do believe in it, all you're waiting for in this scenario is you're waiting for it to retrace. You're looking for buys up off the EMA for something like this. run your stop loss at the same exact point. And now you have a way bigger RR trade. You have a way higher opportunity to risk more because you're technically risking less. There's so many better things about this. It's basically the concept of really putting your eggs in the right basket, really buying in at a right time as a day trader, of course, because things are going to be, obviously changing every single day on the shorter time frame. But this is a really sharp approach. Like, I love using these EMAs because it makes me feel sharp. And, sharp is a sports betting term, but just, pretty much feeling like the house. You are playing in a point where most people are chasing in these higher extended areas where, of course, price can continue up. But as long and the further you go away from this EMA, which up here, like I said, we're really far off this EMA, the stronger this is going to magnetize itself back to this. So the higher and higher you go, the more likely it is that this is going to drop before it continues back up. So when you do use these EMAs, when you do trade off these EMAs, instead of, acting like a retail trader, you're waiting, you're sitting back for an opportunity to get an even better entry with more confidence. You got the retracement, you waited, you sat back, and you got rewarded for it, and you're going to have a way better risk to reward trade. This is a concept I like to do on all time frames. I like to look at the 15, I like to look at the 5, the 3, the 2. I'm looking for these retracements consistently. That is probably, I would say, my most consistent day trading strategy, day to day, over and over again. You guys remember my shadow supply model? I don't use this a lot anymore just because I don't trade NQ. It does work on gold, but it wasn't built for gold, and I don't want to just force it like that. But in a scenario like this, where we are trading off of this EMA on the shorter time frames, we are looking for a break, retest, break on the 3-minute. Now, what does the EMA have to do with this? Nothing really. But if we can see price do our break, retest, break, and then close above the EMA, that is just an added confluence that you can add to your strategy that's only going to make this even higher confidence for yourself. Sometimes it's not even about the actual application of the trade. It's more of a belief in this trade playing out and giving yourself more opportunities inside of a trade, inside of an opportunity, to really believe that this trade is going to play out. That confidence, and I'm sure you guys have experienced it before, where you are, you're taking trades and you feel great, and then you're taking trades, you also feel kind of skeptical about it. It might not be A+, and you kind of, I don't know. Then you force it, and then you lose, and it's like, oh shit, like I'm an idiot. So we got our break above. Let's see our retest into this zone, and then we want to see a break above the EMA and a close above the zone. Boom, we're in right there. Run a 1-to-1 off this zone. This would be 64 points. Holy shit. Okay, well, better lock the fuck in. Super high confidence because not only are we getting above this EMA, which we priorly rejected off of, you guys see right here, we did not see us get above this EMA. We've been downtrending. Hopefully looking to break this high and, supposedly continue up off of our shadow supply setup. And this is a different scenario just because I don't like to trade shadow supply against the trend, but most of the time, actually, you end up having to do so with those bottom wicks. But we're going to talk more about this EMA retracement style thing that you can do with gold. I'm going to go ahead and just, my eyes are closed, obviously. My eyes are closed and I have my hands over it. So I guess I got the double lockdown, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back in time. Hopefully that worked. We're going to look for an opportunity. I'm going to show you guys real time on how you can trade this EMA, kind of, I'll call it leveling. I'm going to explain that for a minute. We're going to look for boom, drop down, retracement to that EMA. I want to see sells come in, push it down, close below. We jump in right here, and we see a continuation down. That's all I'm looking for. Same exact thing to the bullish scenario. We want to see price climb up, retrace to that EMA. Let's say it's right here, whatever. Come underneath it, buy back up, close back above, jump in right there, and push it back up even higher. That's all we're looking for. So how we do this is we start in the 2-minute. So we start in the 2-minute, and we look for that retracement. If we don't get it and it gets invalidated, we'll go to the 3-minute. If that doesn't work, we're going to go to the 5-minute. If that doesn't work, we go to the 50-minute. And if that doesn't work, we get off. you can't go higher. Then you're just chasing. Why? This is literally yesterday. Let's do that again. I'm just gonna. So the first thing we're gonna do, find our bias for the day. Obviously, just one quick look, very bearish. That's all we're looking for. Boom. So we're looking for shorts. It is 3 in the morning right now. So let's actually go to the morning of the next day. Okay, boom. So it is now 8 in the morning the next day. So we're gonna go ahead and looking pretty choppy. So I'm actually gonna push this right up to market open. So we actually just missed an entry, which is freaking awesome. I wish I would have got that, but this is exactly what we're looking for, and it's not done for us. We'll continue to look for more, but you guys see, we see this nice drop down, we see this retracement, we see rejection, price buys above, comes back down, jump in right there at that candle close, and okay, stop, I did not mean to go that far, and longs just ripped. So now we are flipping to longs. Okay, now we're seeing this consolidation. Gonna go to the 3-minute. Looks really solid on the 3-minute, and this would have been our entry right here. I hate to do this because we just missed it, but perfect rejection off the EMA right here. Stop loss would be at this low right here for 3.5 points, and we basically run a 1-to-1 off of this. Why did I feel like I've taken this trade before? But anyways, let's see what happens. Super easy. All right, it took me a minute to find another entry for this just because I was just watching because the price just ended up ripping up. But we finally got an opportunity here. This is on the 2-minute. And sometimes I don't even care about seeing a nice bottom wick depending on the entry. But when I'm looking at the EMA, especially on the shorter time frames, if we can get an engulfing entry like this, I don't mind taking a shot at it, especially, you know, with the smaller stop loss like this with a 1.4 stop loss. Price obviously did flip. If we go on the higher time frames, you guys see on the 15-minute, still looking bullish. We were actually coming down this morning, popped up. So again, we flipped our bias going now for longs, and we're going to jump in with this engulfing candle right here. You know, super simple, 1.4 TP. I technically really wouldn't even enter this, to be honest, just because it's such a small TP and SL. But just for the sake of an example, if I do see an entry like this where we do engulf underneath, you know, price obviously got underneath the EMA and then came right back up and engulfed the previous 2-minute candle, that's always a really good opportunity for me to just send a shot at it. If this was around 3 points, I would 100% take it. 1 point, probably not. And you guys know I always run 1-to-1, so really not a lot of opportunity in this for me. And obviously didn't play out. And ironically, we just flipped right back to here. I would not take this trade just because if I did have a bullish bias, I wouldn't just flip to shorts. I like to come into the day with one plan and then kind of just stick to it. But just for sake of example for you, just so you can understand, like going forward, if you ever do see a candle like this is a perfect example of an entry candle for me. This is an amazing entry. If this was more of a bearish day, of course, and we see price coming down, retracing, and then this is the candle we get off the EMA, I'm telling you, this is like S tier entry. Beautiful entry. Just again, breaking down what every single candle is doing. We're seeing this pop up. Sellers pushing this all the way back down, closing back below the EMA, basically at the open of the candle. Super solid. I don't really like this. Again, I would not take this trade just because we're so close and we're still bullish in the day, but obviously played out. Back on the 15-minute, this is another example of a possible opportunity for you to take longs. I don't really recommend this one either, but again, I'm just trying to give your brain ideas for opportunities. Same thing that happened here. We did see price come into this EMA, reject up off of it, but now we're actually getting a wick. The problem is here, like this is technically an entry, but you know, this is where your kind of intuition comes into play. You have to be subjective with your entries and what you look at, what you actually do end up taking, because you're going to get a bunch of entries, but it's up to your intuition. You guys know I'm a big intuition trader to actually make the decision to take a trade or not. This candle is just not enough of a bullish move for me. I would like to see this candle with probably have closed around here with a wick this long. I don't really like this candle too much for an opportunity to take a trade off of it, but you could, you know, and have your stop loss right here. It really just, there's not really a lot worth it for me though. Yeah, I mean, and during that candle, again, I'm not going to take credit for that one. You guys see we have this perfect opportunity right again on the 2-minute. If we were to flip our this is an amazing candle. You see price falling, retracing to this EMA, forming this channel, and this is our entry candle. We see price buy all the way up, come all the way back down, and close lower than it did at the open. You would jump in right here, stop loss would be here, running a 1-to-1 off that, and you would hit TP. So there's so many opportunities with this, and it's really the easiest way to trade, I think, with high confidence and consistently seeing an outcome that I really do believe in. And this is something, again, that stuck with me throughout my entire trading career, and EMAs have came with me the entire, you know, process. And it's just like, I'm not an indicator guy, but dude, this indicator is life changing. I would highly recommend you guys test it out, especially with your strategy, because you don't need to just trade off of it. You can use it for any sort of confluence as well. Just about giving yourself confidence going into every single trade. This is something that can increase that, and I don't think there's a single person on the earth that wouldn't want more confidence taking trades. That's really it though. I know it's the weekend, so hopefully you guys are, you know, taking some time away, and I'm excited to get back into it tomorrow, and hopefully we can make some more money this week. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you haven't already, and make sure to join the Discord too. Come see more of me live trading there every single day. A lot of content, a lot of information, super dope community. Hopefully we'll see more of you. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. I'll see you later.